What is the hottest shit out there right now in the programming world? What are the programming languages and frameworks that are trending like crazy in the eyes of both the developers and the recruiters? In this video, we are going to answer all the important questions that will help you choose the best career path in 2019. Let's be honest, there are so many programming languages out there that you would want to learn, right? If you are a beginner in the field of programming, you must have pondered about which language to learn. Which programming language provides more job opportunities in current scenario? What expertise are the recruiters looking for? What is that one side project that you need to do so that you can wear it as a badge of honor on your resume and show off your programming skills? Now, also if you are already an experienced developer, you might be wondering about pushing your boundaries so that you can reach out to more opportunities or more interesting projects for yourselves. In this video, we are going to discuss each of those questions. HackerRank is one of the most widely popular platforms that is being used by recruiters to hire developers. They recently conducted a survey asking developers questions about technologies they often use, the kind of projects that they started off with, the languages that they want to learn in the future, and so on. They also surveyed the recruiters asking them about the skills and qualities they are looking for among the developers while they are recruiting. Their survey has resulted in some really interesting insights that can really help you take your next big step in the world of programming in 2019. Let's go through them one by one. What is the first project that developers build when they enter the world of programming? The survey shows that majority of developers under the age of 37 build the calculator as the first project. There are also other projects like desktop application, management systems, to-do lists, and mobile applications that developers from various genders and ages engaged with. Surprisingly, you will see that very few people actually opted for Hello World as their first project. I guess it is because no one really thinks of Hello World as a project. It is more like the first thing you write when you start to learn a new language. Here is a suggestion that I would like to make to developers below the age of 37 or are in universities. Majority of you are building calculator or something similar as your first project. My advice is try to also learn to build something different as well. In order to stand out from the crowd, you need to build something as a first project that you can proudly show on your resume. Especially if you are someone who is in university and is looking for internship or applying for programming jobs as a fresher, you could easily stand out in front of recruiters by doing some unique projects. For example, building your one-page resume or building a simple breathing app or something out of the box by any programming language of your choice. Or here is another interesting observation. HackerRank's survey also included an interesting insight on what people consider to be a realistic application of their programming knowledge. The survey shows that IoT, Internet of Things, is the most adopted technology in the recent years. This is because the world is getting connected more and more through the power of internet. The mobile phones are directly connected to cars, refrigerators, lighting systems, bank accounts, etc. and has led to increasing application in the field of IoT. Deep learning is at the second position with applications in the field of speech recognition, image processing, healthcare sector and lot more. Cloud machine learning comes in at third position. If you're really ambitious, I would highly recommend you picking a side project in these fields. This should ensure that you're always staying up to date with the present generation skills. Let's look at the next question. Which was the most popular language among developers in 2018? The survey shows that it is JavaScript. In fact, 73% of developers claimed that they have had some interaction with JavaScript in some way or the other. The second position is backed by Java, third position by C, Python comes in at number 4 and C++ at number 5. Now there is no age distinction here. So people from all levels of experience have voted for this. If you just look at students, you would notice that only 42% of students claim to know JavaScript. This is probably because JavaScript is not the language that is taught to them in schools and colleges. Therefore, if you are a student and you know JavaScript, you might be holding an ace in your pocket. In my opinion, if you know any of the top 5 languages properly, it is going to be really beneficial for you. Now, it won't be wrong to assume that since these 5 were the most popular languages in 2018, you could find a huge community of people doing open source projects in this field, right? If open source projects are being built, it won't be wrong to assume that the new generation tech companies would want to include these open source projects in their tech stack somewhere or the other. Therefore, this is going to create adequate amount of job opportunities in these programming fields. Therefore, if you are planning to learn a new language in 2019, I would suggest pick one of these 5 languages. Let's look at the most dominating frameworks in 2018. Frameworks are very important as they allow you to avoid repetitive code and build functionalities more easily without having to build everything from scratch. When it comes to the top frameworks in 2018, JavaScript frameworks are definitely ranking high on the charts. In 2018, Angular is definitely the most famous framework out there. However, you can also see that from 2017 to 2018, React is rapidly climbing up the game. More and more developers are interested to learn React. In fact, it is being touted that React will overthrow Angular to be the crowning jewel among all frameworks. So, if you were ever confused about what framework to learn, I would suggest you go with React. It's on a roller coaster trend and you could certainly benefit from it. Also, remember, higher popularity of a framework also means that there is an increasing online support community who can help you out in your learning process. Now, there is one interesting observation that HackerRank has made. HackerRank also conducted survey on the discrepancy between the knowledge of frameworks that hiring managers want and the frameworks that developers know. You can see that there is a huge gap between the demand and supply of React developers. This discrepancy for Angular is relatively less. This shows that there is more demand for React developers in the market as compared to Angular developers. Hence, there is even more reason to learn React. Now, one of my favorite frameworks is Django. Why? Because I love Python. You would see that the supply of Django seems to be more than the demand for it. So if you are interested in web development, Django probably isn't the framework that you might want to learn solely for the purpose of getting a job. But that doesn't mean learning Django is useless, yeah? It's a skill. And the data is showing that there is a pretty good demand for Django. Let's talk about what frustrates developers at work. The survey indicates that for junior developers, it is usually lack of documentation or ugly documentation that really frustrates them. I mean, it makes sense. They have joined a new company that has a built architecture in place. To be efficient, they need to understand the nitty-gritty details of everything. In its absence, they do tend to waste a lot of time speculating what the hell is going on. I mean, I can totally relate to it. For senior developers, it turns out that spaghetti code or badly written code irritates them the most. This is a great moment to understand and learn something. If lack of documentation bothers you, make sure you don't display the same quality. Make sure you make it a practice of documenting everything for every little thing you do. This is not only good practice, but your value will grow much higher in the eyes of the company. Let's talk about the next question, which is also my personal favorite. Which music do developers listen to at work? It turns out that younger developers below the age of 37 are more inclined to rap and hip-hop music, whereas senior developers tend to go for the classical music. There are also other genres like rock music, pop, metal, blues, etc. that has fan following of its own. You might wonder, is this important? Discussing music interest? Well, yes. Going to a place for work is not just about staring into your laptop and finishing your shit by the end of the day. It is also about interactions. It is also about being able to connect with your colleagues. Something like music can really help you connect with other developers in the company. You will find a reason to talk to each other, discuss matters, ask for help, and a lot of other things. This is going to bring balance to your work schedule and you will feel much happier and satisfied in your workplace. So don't be shy. Go ahead and find people who have the similar taste as you in topics like music, hobbies, political views, technology, and other stuff that pleases you. So there you go. This was basically an overview of the recent trends in technologies through a survey by HackerRank. I'm sure these observations will really help you to choose a programming language in 2019. I wish you all the best in your career and don't forget to subscribe to Pylenin. I will see you in the next video.